Good morning, lovely people. Here we are on a Thursday morning. It's lovely to be speaking to you this morning. And it's Brendan Prince here from the charity Above Water. Above Water is the water safety and education charity that sends lifeguards who are teachers, qualified teachers, into schools to teach pupils, to teach the teachers, water safety, drowning prevention, lifeguarding skills. Obviously we can't go into schools at the minute and we can't get teachers to come to us, so we are sending this video out on a daily basis just to get as much information about water safety out to the general public now whilst we're all in lockdown, because we do obviously have a big fear that once we come out of lockdown we will potentially have a spike in rescues and drownings because of everyone wanting to go to the water. So we very much are starting a campaign of respect the water after lockdown. So respect the water after lockdown. So this is why we're doing these messages. Okay, so what are we doing today? What's this guy? Big inflatable crocodile. So we are going to talk about inflatables today. So why can inflatables be a problem and a water safety issue? Well, the last thing I want to do is to be a killjoy about inflatables. But really, inflatables are fantastic for the pool, but as soon as you take them into open water, then they can become very, very dangerous. Inflatables, we've got crocodiles, we've got sharks, there are dolphins, there are pizza slices, there are unicorns, there are all different types of inflatables, and they've all been made for a pool environment. This is why when you buy an inflatable, if you're lucky enough to even have a rope with it, the rope will not be of sufficient quality to be able to pull and use for the inflatable. And if you don't have a rope and you put your own rope to it, what do you attach it to? Because nothing has been made to be secure to be able to pull on an inflatable. So often if you do put it on what is the only thing available, it's just not going to be strong enough. So let's talk with our little model here about why inflatables are a problem. So here we have our inflatable, or in this case it looks more like Frankenstein's monster of an inflatable unicorn. I've picked an inflatable unicorn because they're quite big inflatables and they have the biggest, they cause the biggest problem because of their size. So here we are, our inflatable is on the beach and our two children have got on the inflatable and they start to take it out into the water. Now this inflatable hasn't got a rope attached, so even if mum or dad are standing on the side, they've got no control over the inflatable. And the problem is often on a beach environment or a large lake environment, there is some type of wind movement. So let's say these two are having fun and the wind starts to pick up, which is me, and starts to blow the inflatable out to sea. Now these two guys try and paddle it back in, but the inflatable is so large it acts like a sail on a boat. So the more wind that's blowing, these guys are suddenly taken out offshore and far away from mum or dad on the side. Last year in Torbay we rescued 21 of these type of inflatables that were taken out by the wind. No matter how hard you try against the wind, it's just impossible to be able to paddle this back in. Even if you had a rope attached, let's say there's a rope attached and this is a mighty fine big rope, sometimes when you pull against it and the wind, this acts so much like a parachute that the rope rips the inflatable. The inflatable then pops and sinks in the water, and this could be deep water that these two aren't used to. They're probably really warm sat on the inflatable, whereas they're cold in the water. So that can really add to the problem and cause extra water safety issues. So to sum up, inflatables are great fun in swimming pools, but in open water, that's the sea, large rivers, lakes, they're really not a sensible idea because of that wind factor. And the wind which is called local wind around the coast or on large lakes, can change at any moment. So you may have a wind that's blowing onshore and you think that it's perfectly safe because every time the child's on their inflatable left, it just blows back into shore. But that wind can change at any moment. And suddenly you've got an offshore wind, and this is what often catches families out, an offshore wind. And an inflatable unicorn like this can travel a lot faster than someone trying to swim, a mum or dad trying to swim after it. So all of a sudden, what is a great fun environment activity has turned into a really dangerous situation. So as I said, we had over 20 of these type of tow-in rescues that we just literally had to bring the inflatable with the children back on it into shore. One was a case where the rope actually ripped the inflatable and the inflatable sank, and the two children were 100 meters from the shore and in deep water. So we had to obviously just collect those up and bring those back in, those children. So it's just inflatables. I hate to be a killjoy about inflatables because they're great fun in pools, but please not in open water. Hope you like my inflatable sign because I've actually got a blue pen. I found my blue pen. Obviously it's not an essential thing, so I haven't been able to go out and buy one, but I lost my blue pen. So some of our water pictures over the last week or so, you'd seen the water's been green, been yellow, been red, but not blue. But I've found my blue pens, so we're going to have a lot more blue pen action from now on. Okay, let's look at our phonetic alphabet. So today we are O and P. So O is Oscar and P is Papa. O is Oscar, Oscar, and P is Papa, Papa. So we really are building it up now. So I've got a little competition for you. Who, using just the letters we've got so far, can put together the most fun sentence just using these letters? So I think we've got enough now to be able to do that. So can you put together perhaps a water safety related sentence just using these letters? Best of luck. All right, so today's knot, the fisherman's knot. Dead easy one, the fisherman's knot. The fisherman's knot is basically for joining two ropes together. So if we say we've got two working ends and we want to join these together, I'm just going to show you here. So one working end, the other working end. Now this other working end, all I'm going to do is go around and through. There. So you might recognise that very simple knot, that simple overhand knot. And then if I just turn it round, I'm going to do the same then with this other working end, over and through. Now what that creates is two overhand knots that when pulled, slide together and jam together. And they actually jam together perfectly, pulling against each other. Now on a nice big rope like this, that can get really tight, but you can still release it or adjust it. On a much smaller rope, this would probably get so tight that you may have to even cut it to release it. But that's a great way of tying two ropes together. Really works well if the ropes are the same. If you use different types of ropes, it can often lead to slippage and it isn't as effective. So two rope ends that are the same rope. There we go, nice and simple, the fisherman's knot. Well, that's us for today, this Thursday. So we've had a good look and a good understanding of why inflatables aren't a good idea in open water. We're continuing our phonetic alphabet. Please, if you can do that sentence, that would be great fun. Get your mum and dad involved on that so you and the family can do the best sentence. And we've looked at the fisherman's knot today. So I hope you're finding these videos really useful. I hope that you perhaps are sharing them to other people so more people can get these snippets of information of water safety and drowning prevention. It's really great to see other organisations like the RLNI, etc. starting to do videos, because this is a great time that we can get the message across to all you people sat at home It's a great environment to actually learn and practice this, because you've probably got more time than you normally would have, and really focusing on when this lockdown is finished, that when we come out of it, we can respect the water after lockdown. So have a great day. Look forward to seeing you for the last message of the week tomorrow on Friday. Thank you very much. Bye bye.